We've almost reached the end, but before we go, we have a lot of people to acknowledge that were all involved in the making of this concert a success. Without them, our music would be nothing but pages of paper and MIDI playback files. First, we would like to thank all the musicians that were involved in this recital. You all are wonderfully talented and are amazing to work with, and we really do appreciate you, especially for your patience and flexibility with all the time changes we've had and all the rehearsals since the beginning of the semester. We really appreciate it. Secondly, we would like to thank all the people who helped backstage, to Benedictine College for letting us use their instruments in this space. We could not have done this recital without your help, and we thank you.
Third, we would like to thank all of the mentors and teachers that have taught us all that we know about music, education, and composition. You have inspired us and have helped us to grow as people, and we could never thank you enough. Fourth, we would like to say a big thank you to all of our family and friends that put up with us for the past few years, and especially for the past few months. There's nothing like dealing with a moody, stressed out musician. We love and we thank you. And last but not least, we would like to thank you, our audience, for coming to our concert. Music is nothing if there is no one to enjoy it, and we are glad that we got to spend a bit of our evening and a bit of our hearts with you tonight. We have one more piece for you, and we hope that something in this concert has maybe changed your view on the world a little bit, even if it's just for a second. Thank you and have a wonderful evening.
So Perpessio et Mors, I consider to be my first composition. I did compose another piano piece before this one when I was like 11, but I never notated it because I wasn't to that point musically yet, and it has since faded from my memory. Plus, it wasn't that good anyway, so I can just forget about it. I was 12 years old when I finished this piece. It has undergone some modifications to the ornaments over the years, but the melodic and harmonic structure has remained mostly the same. You may be thinking to yourself, or not since this is a Catholic school, what does Perpessio et Mors mean? Well, my Latin is not the greatest, but I mean for it to refer to the passion and death of Christ on his way to Calvary. So I guess Perpessio, it directly translates more to hardships rather than passion. I was going for passion and death, but hardships works too. This work is composed in D minor. This was my first experimentation in the minor mode since the first piece that I had composed was in D major. Using Beethoven's Für Elise as a guide in terms of structure, since what better way to learn to compose than to, follow what the greats did. Its overall structure is in rondo form, A, B, A, C, A. Christ's walk to Calvary must have seemed like it lasted forever with all the suffering and pain he had to endure. For this reason, I decided to repeat the main theme to really emulate the repetitiveness of the walking. Section C is the darkest and most rattling part of the piece. When Jesus breathed his last, the whole world mourned his death. The land was filled with darkness, storms blew in, and the earth shook. Dead men came to life again and were walking around. This is what I'm trying to illustrate with this section. The theme eventually returns and closes out in the same key as Jesus is then laid in the tomb. Someday I do hope to compose a resurrection theme to this piece. So far it hasn't happened yet, but I hope you enjoy this one. Thank you for coming.